Hi guys, welcome to the Gay Pod.
Welcome to the Gay Pod.
We're doing it at the start of the episode because this is episode 3. We also have video. You can see like our laptop and how we record, so that's not. I mean, if you care about that, then you care about that. Shouts out Christian for Voice Meter Banana changing the game.
Shout out.
Hi, I'm Tonio.
I'm Maddie.
Episode 3. Because once you do it the third time, it's a habit.
It's
right?
official.
It's official.
It's official. I think it's like what 21 days to set a habit.
Yeah.
But like this is our 3rd week, so it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, no, it's 21 days. I mean, when you take like, as you can tell from the first 2 episodes, as we've been adding more steps to it. It doesn't feel like that much. So my question becomes like, these people who rent out studio spaces for their podcast to look more official, I feel like it doesn't detract from the quality of it by any means or the seriousness of it or like how serious I take them. But I just think that sometimes it's like unnecessary. Like, I don't know, like watching The Bald and I feel like something happened when The Bald and the Beautiful went from like their kitchen to the studio. Not them, but just like, I don't know.
You're coming for throats. Right?
I'm not coming for throats. I'm just saying, like what happened with Drew and Enya.
Yeah.
The minute they touched an official studio, boom. And that's not. And again, that's not their fault, right? But it's like when you take those steps and you start involving more people.
Yeah.
There's more room for error.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever gonna. I am never, ever, ever in the entirety of we're doing this podcast. I don't think I'm ever going to want to. Unless someone writes us a check for a set amount of money to be like, you need to use this to upgrade the quality of the podcast, I'm not doing it. Like,
so what he meant to say is we're super open to any opportunities that come across our path.
I guess
no,
so.
I get the sentiment there.
Yeah, well, it just is like, I don't know. I don't want me as an individual to ever feel like, I guess in some situations I would rather feel some way, but I don't want to feel like, not a sellout, but like I don't want to feel inaccessible.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Especially since this is so early.
I was gonna say it's really nice to like not have those problems right now.
Oh yeah.
Where it's just us.
Where if someone
cooking up in our little lab.
Where if one person every 3 months came out to me and they're like, dude, I love the pod, and I don't know who they are. Great. But if it gets to a point where it's like I can't go outside, I know I'm going to miss a date. Well, first of all, when I didn't do that. And also, like, I just don't live that lifestyle. So there's no way that I'm going to...
Yeah.
That's going to happen to me as frequently as I think it would. I mean, the best situation is I can't work a desk job anymore because I get too recognized. I'm
just glad that my mom commented on our YouTube page.
Period. Exactly. No, Lynn... Shouts out Lynn. Is one person I know will always be watching.
Yeah.
Like, I know my friends and family, like, shout out Dan, like, tap in and whatever, and, like, they'll listen to, like, 30 minutes. But, like, I know they're not, like, I'm going to listen from 001 to 1:0:30, you know? And I know Lynn would give us the time of day.
Yeah. Lynn would. Lynn does. And we appreciate her. Lynn is my mother. But yeah, also I was editing the podcast this week, and I was listening to the first like couple minutes, and I was like, so how was your week? As we didn't come from the bar like an hour before.
Hey.
I was like, girl, what are you doing?
That's the power of a, what's it called? Speaking of Lynn, it's her favorite drink.
Oh, a Miami Vice.
That's the power of a Miami Vice, baby. I downed that thing and said, oh my God, my week was awesome. No, but I wanted to ask you, actually, now that we were talking about it, how would you handle fame like that?
I don't ever strive. How would I handle? I don't know. I probably wouldn't. I'd have a lot of mental breakdowns. And that's nothing that I am seeking for in this or in anything.
Yeah, I'm not really seeking fame. It's not that I don't mind the attention, but what I aim for in doing anything like this, like whether it's streaming or making a movie or doing the podcast, it's really just a way for me to provide a space to people who don't otherwise have one, if that makes sense. Like, I really enjoy the idea that this is just on for background noise. I really enjoy the idea that people might listen to this because we pique one of their interests and they get excited to listen. I don't want, from my fans, I do not want free stuff. I don't want you to feel like, oh my god, like he's larger than... No. Like, I don't want any of that. I just want you to feel included and feel like you're hanging out with us. That's about it. I'm not looking for, like... I also don't want that. I don't want to be stalked. I don't want to be preyed upon. I don't want to be treated like a piece of meat. I don't want to be looked at as like a content creator. Like, if that makes sense. But that's what's going to happen when we put ourselves into the void, is the void will start talking back.
Well, yeah. Right now, I'm honestly just doing this for like you and me and like the homies if they choose to tap in.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's just a way to... I don't know, like, I like the idea of, like, this reaching, you know, people I haven't, like, talked to in a while.
Oh, yeah.
See if they could tap back in and, like, you know, I miss the homies and whatever. And, yeah, it would be cool to, like, rekindle some friendships or whatever and, you know.
I also think, not to get political, but I also think that in a landscape that's changing super quickly, and things like TikTok are being quickly like pulled away from us without our consent and without a thorough discussion, we have to start making our own spaces. And that's one of the, like, that's another reason why I wanted to do this, is like I was going to start seriously putting time and effort into creating short form content for TikTok and taking it serious. I uploaded like the first part of like what I was going to turn into a series and shot the series, like of me reviewing like my horror movie taste and stuff like that. But now that, you know, TikTok is getting banned, timestamp it. Hey, 20 episodes later, is TikTok still banned? Is it still controversial? Is it coming back? Did it ever get banned?
Good questions.
But I'm gonna turn them into a YouTube video, and it's just like, this is a creative outlet in, you know, because we went to school for filmmaking. And in a landscape where both of us sort of looked at what filmmaking, at least I'm going to call it like the desk job version of filmmaking. I don't want to grind being a PA for 800 hours or whatever. Like, I don't want to do that. I think that the fact that that's a system that was set up and people are just like, okay, I think that that's kind of fucked up. Because ultimately, like, art in America has turned into nothing more than money and a money maker. I don't want to do that. I would rather make content that might barely be seen with people that I love and care about and respect than devote my life to a system that doesn't reward you for giving you its time.
Yeah.
If at all.
Yeah.
Bold take, I know, but like, fuck you. It's my side of the internet. Like, it's what I want to do. It's what I've always wanted to do. And I feel like one of the things that especially made me mad while navigating the industry, even at its earliest form, was not only hearing stories from you and from other crewmates and just being like, is this really, like, besides a paycheck, what is this to me? Right?
Yeah. I mean,
connections.
Yeah.
Experience. But like, how many times am I gonna how many times does one need to gaff a wooden floor to understand how to gaff a wooden floor in the future?
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's also because I feel like I'm not making something for me. Maybe
that argument is fair. I really enjoyed my time as a PA. It was a grind. Do not let that fool you. Mm-hmm. But the people that I met and learn from, and I gained so much experience and knowledge from that I was able to take and put into other factors of my life, because I decided at that time it wasn't right for me. Never saying I wouldn't go back, just saying at that time I was burned out, and it was coming right off the pandemic. Jesus, I feel like I'm in an interview right now. I'm like, la la la, burned out. But damn, it was a grind. But I wouldn't change that experience for the world. But you know why I do this? Because I love you.
Oh my
God, and you're my best friend. And it's just fun to yap with you and talk about.
It's an excuse to hang out every week. Essentially,
it literally.
We have two right now: D&D and this.
Yeah. Wednesdays and Fridays, baby.
Well, because one of the things, and to segue my final thoughts on like working in the work, I'm gonna put quotes on mine, because I feel like all experiences are fair and valid, but like I'm coming from 4 jobs, 8 paychecks that came to me. So that's not anything in comparison to what you went through, but an aspect of it, like, I wouldn't get to do this with you. Like, the grind is too strong. The grind takes up too much of your time. And, like, love the, like, teamwork and, like, making something and seeing something to the end and being a piece in something that feels important. But, I don't know, dude, like, a month and I don't get to talk to any of my friends or barely any of my family, and the only friends that I do have are my coworkers, which most of the time that's not how things are. Like, you're not best friends with your coworker, if that makes sense, because I don't know, I've just always heard that that's a thing, and it's something that I kind of lay a boundary on, I guess. I don't know why, but it's because, like, if I ever leave the job, like, the chances of us, like, I have to really fuck with you
yeah.
to, like, hang out with you after I leave a job. And I just know that in this industry, like, because the other person you're friends with is also now unavailable for the next 2 months because they're in fucking Norway or whatever. It's like, so do you guys even really get to hang out outside of that? And when I took stock of, like, after graduating, like, what I wanted to do and how I wanted to spend my time, if someone asked me to be a PA tomorrow, I would do it. Without it, I would take time off work and I would do it. But to make that my lifestyle, I just do not know if in the long run it would do my mental health good, if it would do my passion for the craft any good. Ew. Sorry, that sounded really conceited. I just don't know if it would do me any favors in the long run. I just feel like it would put a strain on my relationship with my love for, like, filmmaking, because I think deep down I've always been the type of person that's like, let me grab 5 of my homies that I know can do this and let's just go out and do it.
Like guerrilla style filmmaking.
Yeah, because I notice, and especially in my experience throughout film school, the more people you add to something, the more convoluted it can get and the harder it can be to, like, get everybody on the same page. And maybe that's just because of, like, the style of that type of filmmaking and just, like, different personalities. But, like, every time you're on a set, you're going to be with a different DP, you're going to be with a different director, you're going to be with a different second. So it's like you can't even really get comfortable, and you could have one energy on one set and try to bring that energy to a different set, and they could be like, hey, Buki, no. Mm-hmm. And, like, for me, I just feel like, I don't know, I can acclimate, but that often, my brain would get fried. Like, remembering you in Chicago and watching you...
I was going to say, I feel like a lot of this is, like, coming from my experience with you.
Well, and just talking to you about it, I mean, like, I watched a physical, like, transformation. And it was one where, like...
skinny?
Yeah, but unhealthily so. And, like, you looked... Should I hold your hand when I say this stuff? Oh. How do they do it? Oh. You just looked so... tired, and you looked sad. And when I would be like, how was set, you'd be like, I'm glad it's over.
I was also depressed and unmedicated. Let the record state.
But do you think your opinion would change if you were medicated in that environment?
Yeah, probably.
Work.
Honestly. Self-healing. Self-journeys.
But I also have, and even after talking to other people on my sets, I'd be like, do you have any hobbies outside of this? They'd be like, no. And I'd be like, well, do you make your own stuff? Do you like, no. Oh. Do you guys play D&D? Yeah, I try to play it like once every year and a half. Oh. Also, like, just the... Ooh, this has become the talking about our film experience. But this is interesting, I feel like, for people who didn't know what we've worked on, or, like, what we've been doing, or, like, we talk about we went to film school, but what did you do after that? Yeah. But... I don't know, that all, and just the, like I was saying, the frequency of, like, work and stressing about, am I going to get the next gig, I think would murder me. Like, I'm such a responsible person when it comes to, like, making sure stuff is getting paid and making sure my bills are on time and stuff like that. And, not gonna lie, some of those people really like to play with your money and, like, hold on to it until they absolutely have to give it to you, like, 2 weeks later. And unfortunately for me, I don't play that. I do not do that. Mm-hmm. Happened to a lot of people I worked with on some shows that I worked on. The NDAs have to be out. And, like, the only thing I kept thinking when we got paid was, thank God I'm in college. And I don't have rent. With you, I was like, every time, I was like, please let Maddie get another job. Like, please let the next gig come. Like, it's been a week now and she still hasn't said anything. Like, please. Please. Also, because I didn't want you to move.
Yeah. That's real.
But also then I was like, it was a double-edged sword. I was like, I want Maddie to have a job. And then I was like, but she looks so sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really all I have to say on that. There really isn't anything else, unfortunately. Like, I wish I had drama or stories, but I did my job. I clocked in and clocked out. The most embarrassing thing I guess I could say I did on set was they stationed me all the way back in this alley, and they had me be like, you know, set security or whatever the fuck it's called.
You would be, as the film crew would know, as a lockup PA.
A lockup PA, correct. At the end of this alley, but they also put this lady who was doing our crafty, but she had, like, breakfast crafty, so she was making, like, coffee and stuff. They had her stationed there too, and so we would just end up talking and stuff. And, like, I don't know if you guys noticed when you watched me laugh a second ago, I, like, instinctively did this because I know my laugh is loud.
That's crazy. Also, shout out Crafty.
Shout out Crafty. The food was so good.
Also, did you see, I think it was Colin Farrell shouted out Crafty in his speech at the Golden Globes.
So
that's
real.
Awesome.
No, but that's so real. An underrated job, because if no one was doing Crafty and everyone had to go and get their own food, we wouldn't make movies. Movies would not get made. How about that?
Yeah.
No, but we were stationed at the end of that alley. And we were, like, keying, obviously, and having a good time, because I'm a personable person that's not just going to stand there and not say anything. They called me over the fucking Everyone radio and said, hey, can we have the PA that's down at the end of the alley just come into the tunnel real quick? And I was like, sure. Because they were shooting in a tunnel. Sorry. It's me trying to stop myself from being embarrassed. But I wander into the tunnel, and I'm like, hey, like, what's up? Like, did you need help with anything? And the second, I think his name was David, came up to me and was like, oh, God. Hey, so you were being really loud? Because they were shooting in a tunnel, so my laugh and my voice was carrying through the tunnel. They were like, you're being really loud, and the director is getting really frustrated, so he wanted you in here.
Only you would be talking through a fucking take.
But that's the thing.
That's so funny.
But the part that sucks is they weren't communicating through the walkies when they started filming. And so I'm standing all the way at the end of this alley, and I can't hear them say action or clap the thing. And so I had no idea that they were filming. And I was just...
They weren't calling it through the radio.
No, and that was one of the things where I was really sad, because if someone had said something 10 minutes sooner, I would have shut the fuck up, and I wouldn't feel guilty about it still all these years later. But also they were filming like a scene that was taking place in a tunnel where apparently people just have meth labs.
Oh.
Tells you everything you need to know about that show. But like, I feel so bad because I know how much money I probably wasted.
I mean,
and it's just like, I feel like every person who's worked in the industry has one of those moments where they fuck something up and they're like, my career's over. Like, it's done. I'm not coming back. But yeah, we can stop talking about that stuff. I just wanted to tell that story because I remembered it earlier today and I knew it would be entertaining. I thought I've been talking for at least 40 minutes, so thank God that only said 21.
let's talk about the traders because you put me
on let's not. Because we're going to start talking about it, and then my boyfriend is going to bust in here. And we're just both going to go...
He just said from the other room, I am not.
Yeah, he's actually our... what do they call the person on the other side of the audio booth? Our sound engineer.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also rely on him because I really hope that I really rely on him to just come in here and be like, hey guys, this sucks. Like, do you want to move on to the next topic? Like, but anyway, yeah, the traders. What are your thoughts?
Okay. Antonio's been telling me to watch this show forever, and I was just like, no. He made me watch the first episodes of season 1 and season 2, and it was like good, but I just like didn't know the reality stars, and I just wasn't that interested, and the concept didn't make any sense to me. But we've been playing this game called Blood on the Clock Tower.
Shut up, Blood on the Clock Tower!
It's fucking awesome.
Love
it is so cool. It is so fun. I mean, you could definitely explain it better than I could, but essentially, TLDR, it's what is it? That One Night Ultimate?
It's One Night Ultimate Werewolf. It's Mafia. It's any game that has anything to do with social deduction, where someone or some group of people are evil and the other group of people are good, and it's up to the good people to find the bad people.
Bingo. So, ever since it was explained to me like that, I was like, oh, this shit is awesome. So Traders is basically like a dumbed down version of that. And it's celebrities and reality TV stars, and they play this game. And this season 4, I was so excited because I fucking love Bob the Drag Queen.
Shout out Bob the Drag Queen.
Shout out Bob the Drag Queen. I just love Bob. So I was like, oh my god, they're gonna be so good. And then Tonio was like, hey, I can't wait. I'm gonna spoil it. Bob's a traitor. Spoilers. Bob's a traitor. So I was like, oh, we're in. We're fucking in.
Because I could have seen Bob winning. Continue, sorry.
Okay, so we're at this point, we're at episode 4. Mm-hmm. Bob was fucking voted off. And if you watch the show, you would know that this stupid fucking Survivor guy, Boston Rob, came into the game, and he was used as a pawn at first, even before the game started. Alan Cumming?
Yeah, Alan Cumming.
Alan Cumming, the host, put all of them, the whole group, up to a test and was like, here's Boston Rob. Do you want him in the game? Or you can sacrifice somebody else and he'll be in the game. Nobody did it. He was out of the game. Plot twist, he's back in the fucking game as a traitor. Boo! So, long story short, he Bob, the drag queen, says something and is like, oh, one of the 3 boys that came in. The 3 guys came in at the same time. I'm just explaining this whole show.
Yeah, so
you can just watch this fucking show.
It's on Peacock. No, Boston Rob was a part of a trio of men that entered the game later.
Yes.
Because if just Boston Rob entered, everyone would be like, oh, he's a traitor. So they throw in 2 other people who allegedly have like some skin in the game in reality TV. So like this guy Wes from The Challenge?
Something like that.
And then another more boring looking dude from Big Brother.
Derek from Big Brother.
Yeah, they're all like hot shots, I guess, in this community. And so I think the twist was like bringing those 3 in just as everyone gets comfortable to then make it uncomfortable again. Yeah. And I think production knew what they were doing by making Boston Rob the guy who they pick. Like, because the move is, right, the gag is, I think if someone would have picked Boston Rob and traded in someone else, the traded in person would have come back as a traitor.
Agreed, 100%.
I think that would have been better in my opinion. Yep. I think What's-Her-Face should have walked over and shook his hand and set that one bitch packing. Yeah. I think she should have done it. Anyway, continue.
No, I just, the whole idea was that Boston Rob felt threatened that Bob the drag queen, like, had
disheveled that information.
Exactly.
That everybody already knew.
Everybody already knew that one of the 3 guys was gonna be a traitor. Newsflash, they fucking knew already. So Boston Rob sets out this whole fucking brigade and spies around everybody and is like, yo, we're voting out Bob. Bob's a traitor. Bob's a traitor. Bob's a traitor. They fucking vote out Bob.
And so, mind you, the whole time, Rob is a traitor. Rob is on the same team as Bob the drag queen.
So he just threw his own fucking teammate under the bus.
It was I'm like fucking shaking like thinking about it because not gonna lie, Bash and I when I got a whiff of what was happening, I'm like, we can just fucking fast forward. I do not want to watch a smear campaign against somebody who doesn't even deserve it. Now, should Bob have said what he said? Probably not. I don't think Bob should have. As soon as it came out of Bob's mouth, I said, "Ooh, Pookie, that's an inside thought." I'm not. If I had to criticize Bob's gameplay, that's the only critique I would make. Because otherwise, perfectly, I loved how Bob was playing the game.
Bob had those bitches wrapped around his finger.
He did. And, like, the only person that they suspected was Danielle. Yes. And I think Danielle is a perfect scapegoat to have her go home because otherwise, only one person knew that Bob the Dragon was a traitor or had a feeling that he was. And I just think that, like, having more people on your traitor team is ultimately better than sacrificing one to quell the group.
I agree.
Because now you're reducing your numbers for the people you're trying to eliminate. What the fuck is the logic in that? And it's that kind of short-sighted gameplay that I think really made me mad at the end of the days because everyone's hyping up Boston Rob as the ultimate survivor, the ultimate game player, and yet there's a flaw in his plan, and more specifically for this game, because he has to be on a team. Like, I know in Survivor, you start as mini teams, you go to a bigger sort of teams, and then you go to, like, a bigger team, and then eventually it's the top 10. That strategy works in that game format. In this game format, that's not how it works. If the other traders don't like you, guess what? They're just going to out you, too.
Yep.
And so for me, I just think that, like, my statement remains this game would be better if it wasn't played with reality TV stars. I understand why we do that. But why not introduce another TV show that brings more people like into this echelon of reality competition star? Mm-hmm. Why not? Because then you can say, instead of saying like, then there could be another show where all these people go on it or whatever. Yep. Because ultimately that's what's going to happen anyway. So why expedite that process? Why not give us 5 seasons where real people are playing traitors so then you at least have enough people to bring back into the castle who know how to play the game?
Well, and then at that point you could do like an All-Stars.
Yes!
And then...
you could make more money.
Didn't you say that the UK version does?
Every other country version that does this game casts real people and then like maybe one celebrity or maybe one politician.
Sure.
And to me that makes sense.
Yeah.
To me that's what I want to watch. Mm-hmm. Because the problem with doing... Hey, so the video stopped.
We're back.
We're back. No, I'm done watching The Traitors season 4. Season 3?
I will not be done for 2 reasons. One, I would love to see Carolyn and Danielle turn on Rob.
Yeah.
And get him kicked out. And then also, I love Gabby.
Oh, the leader of the Bambis?
Yes. Yeah. Oh well, my god, she is so funny. So I found out that she was on, well, this is her whole like story. She was on The Bachelor. Mm-hmm. And then now she's a lesbian.
There it is.
And she has a podcast. I like, Gabby.
As soon as she was like, I was on The Bachelor and then I'm a lesbian, I was like, Maddie, you gotta watch The Traitors, girl.
No, I love her. So I will be watching for those 2 aspects. Mm-hmm. If stuff happens and they leave, who knows?
Hi guys, it's Work Tonio. So as you probably know, this is a break from the regular content. I'm coming at you to let you know that for some reason Canon cameras stop recording after half an hour. So if you see random like breaks in the footage, or if you see like a picture of one of our pets up there in the middle, it's because we kept talking and we didn't know the camera stopped recording. Oops. And we went to film school and paid how much money? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, sorry. The quality's gonna get better in the future, I promise, and I swear. Anyway, back to the episode. Let's talk about Drag Race.
Drag Race is good. I don't remember any of their names still.
Drag Race is good. I could probably tell you most of them, but
I just need to see names with faces.
We rated them the last. So
here's who I remember. Here's who stuck out to me. Lana Jarre. Oh my god, she was fucking awesome.
And hot.
Oh my, like
the body is tea. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, actually. She's crazy.
And she's like so tall, and I'm like, oh my god. And then her confessional look is this cute like little powder blue cloud sweater. It's adorable.
I mean, I know that, you know, in the world of drag queens, if you're new, or in the world of drag, if you are inspired by a drag artist and you go up to them and you're like, hey, I really like you, I want to start doing drag, can you help me learn drag, can you teach me how to do it? Or like if you've been doing drag and all of a sudden it's like you want to find a deeper community, like some people will ask drag queens to be their mothers, and they will have the drag queens or other drag artists will have drag children that are a part of their house or their family. And so Lana Jarre is a part of the Luxe Noir London family, and like it just makes sense. Like, you look at the two of them and you go, so you're sure you guys aren't related. And it's mostly just in the style of drag most of the time, which is why the house thing exists and the family thing exists, is because it's like, we have a couple legacy or Nepo babies on this season. Like, we have a daughter of Trinity the Tug, we have a daughter of Luxe Noir London, we have a daughter of, just know that there are a bunch of them. And I just think it's, yeah, she stands out as one for sure. I just love Lexi Love, I think.
Yes! That roller skating moment.
So good. I just think that like her personality, I think is why I like drag, is because it's honest and it's very like extra in a good way.
Yes.
Yeah, the drag, like I said, I think I've already said it, this is drag, like I can't do the like Broadway queens too often just because like I don't know what it is in my DNA. I wish it didn't exist. I just like, and by the way, I've done like real theater, not real theater, but I've done like theater productions. I've done live productions in high school. And the thing that always stands out to me is, I don't know, maybe it's like a certain personality trait is attracted to that like activity or what it is, but like me and those people don't mesh. And maybe it's because I don't take shit serious. Like maybe it's because to me nothing is ever that serious, but with live productions it is that serious because you only get to do it 18 times in a year and then it's done forever. But it's not, because people record it in the audience. So it lives on forever. But Yeah, I just, and like normally the drag style that comes out of that, like it's not for me. Because I like a pretty girl, but I also like a girl that can be a little bit campy and pretty. So like Jinx Monsoon or Raja. I think those are really good like examples, but like the Tina Burners and like but I love Jan Sport. But like the Jan Sports and like the Susie Toots are like, for me, unfortunately, not always my favorite. But Susie Toot.
The toe tap is really getting me.
She's kind of, I like her. I like the cut of her jib.
Yeah, no, she's fun. It's like she knows the right moments. And that's what makes it. And I love that.
I agree. I can't wait to see this episode and see what happens, because this is like a real ass, like there's going to be a mini, a maxi, the runway, the judging, boom.
It's a full episode, baby.
And that's what we've been waiting for.
Yes.
Hormona Lisa getting saved. If you could have seen my living room when Hormona Lisa pulled the right lever and badunka-dunked Michelle,
fucking badunkadunk.
we all like ragdoll. Like we all like doubled over. Some of us got up. Like it was like a big deal because she talked a big game and then didn't bring it and wasn't funny. She said, I'm going to do comedy, and there wasn't a laugh at any of her jokes. And even RuPaul was like, I pity laughed.
It's a pity laugh.
And the fact that she got saved by chance, I think is super fucking annoying, but RuPaul has done that anyway. I think, though, the 2 in 10 chance was put there for Hormona Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
She pulled that because you know it's not really attached. Like, you know they're not attached, and you know it's just the producer going. Like, you know that's what it is, and it's not real chance.
I really think that they were just going to give it to the first girl.
Yeah.
Whoever got...
To show how it works.
Exactly. Yeah. Not that you need to see. It's not that hard of a concept to visualize. I don't know. Yeah, it's just really unfortunate. Like, you go through 2 whole episodes. I hate to say it, you want to see somebody go.
Yeah.
In the beginning, the last season that Tonio and I watched together.
Oh, those bitches were there forever. It was essentially a season of Big Brother. But I loved it. I loved it for that. I felt like I actually got to know them.
Oh yeah.
And that felt nice. Because it made the winner feel better.
Yes.
The story, for me, that is one of the better seasons of Drag Race because the storylines aren't boring. I'm not like, oh my god, like,
no.
come on. Like, Bash and I fully sit down and watch it all the way through. And we kind of pay attention all the way through. Other seasons, though, sometimes we hit that skip. Sometimes we talk through it. But, like, the season that we're watching, I always...
Yeah.
Season 4... Because we're on season... So it's season 17. A season of Drag Race comes out every year.
Yes. I'm going to Google it.
So 2022, so 3 years ago. So season 14.
Yeah, you're right. Season 14.
That's how I measure my life. What season of Drag Race was it? Who was the winner of Drag Race in this year? That determines how my year was. Which honestly, funnily enough, makes sense because I started watching Drag Race when Bianca Del Rio was on. No, that's a lie. I started watching Drag Race when Trixie Mattel and Katya were on. And my favorite queen at the time, and still my favorite queen is because she was the first one I said, like, oh my god, I love her, is Jaden Dior Fierce.
Wow.
I loved her. I thought she was great. I still think she's great. But that season, Pearl was a winner. Or not Pearl. Violet Chachki was the winner of that season, and Violet Chachki was very high, like, fashion,
yes.
high concept drag. But that sort of introduced me to a group of people at my high school that, like, radicalized me and made me give a shit about stuff and made me look at the world and go, like, hey, some things are really unfair. You need to start, like, figuring that out. And then the next year, having Bob the Drag Queen become a winner and being heavily political, I think just, like, that makes sense for my teen years leading up to the person I am today, is what I'm trying to say. So the winners of Drag Race truly, honestly define like the periods of my life.
I love that.
Yeah. Willow Pill was my like...
Willow Pill.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I work in a barbershop. So I come home and sometimes I have hair. I had a hair sliver in my big toe yesterday.
Ooh.
It hurt so bad.
Ow.
Yeah. Ew. Sorry, guys. I forgot we were on camera. I forgot we're recording it now. But yeah, what else you got to say about Dwagways? I just wanted to talk about the hormonal
I love
outrage.
Drag Race.
I love Dwagways.
Can't remember the first. I haven't watched all of them. I can't lie.
Oh my god, guys. Okay, so here's the topic. We're switching from Drag Race, but we're still staying in the realm of TV. Maddie's never seen an episode of Bob's Burgers.
Yeah. No, I've seen one. I watched the pilot.
That one's like really funny.
It is funny. I just...
Oh, you're the worst kind of autistic.
It was good. It was cute. It was funny. I don't know. It was just... Sometimes with TV, it's like... Especially when it's like longer seasons, I'm like, oh my god.
Whenever people are like, oh my god, have you watched Grey's Anatomy? Hello? No. I didn't... Like, most people I know who watched Grey's Anatomy all the way through started it on Netflix when they were 13, and by the time they graduated high school, they had just finished and caught up with Grey's Anatomy. But you watched it for a legitimate reason because you had a crush on the character. Most of the bitches I knew who were watching this show were watching for the plot, which...
Well, the plot at the beginning was really good, actually. Like, the first 5 seasons... Really good TV.
Shondaland, baby.
Shondaland. Oh my god. How to Get Away with Murder.
Scandal.
Don't get me started with Scandal. That show changed my life. That Kerry Washington, what's his name? Tony?
I never
don't
watched
know.
it.
Whatever the president's name is.
Revenge. Did she also do Revenge?
I think so.
Because she's also... Because low-key, I follow someone she works with a lot. Or someone who works on her shows a lot because she came to UNLV and spoke.
Slay.
She also does Power and...
Wait, I'm trying to look up shows.
Shondaland shows.
She did Inventing Anna. Did you see that one? That one was good.
That's the one...
She did.
No, my father can transfer you the money.
Yeah. That was actually really good. That
Thank
was
you.
really good. Well, actually, that was bad. I need to not do impressions. I'm really bad at impressions.
Stella Barefoot is a really good
That
one.
is, I can only do like a Cali girl.
Secret
accent. That's kind of crazy. She did Bridgerton though. I didn't know that.
Hey, Chad, I'm going to be honest. Watched a couple episodes of Bridgerton.
No, not for you.
I loved all the actors in it. I'm not taking away from the performance or the budget or anything like that. But, like...
It's just...
it's not relatable, I guess. Like, I'm just not really...
Well, it's a very lovey-dovey show, and...
The only show that I watched from anywhere remotely close to that time period that I enjoyed was The Great. And they canceled The Great, which made me so sad because it was so good.
Is that the one with Haley Steinfeld?
No. It's... Oh, my God. I don't know the actress's name, but it has Nicholas Hoult in it, and he plays the Prince of Germany, or like the King of Germany. And it's about the great... Catherine the Great.
Oh, slay.
And her sort of ruling regime, or whatever the fuck it's called, and how she usurped her husband for power. It's a really... Because Nicholas Hoult plays a really good idiot, but Nicholas Hoult also plays a really good, like, lovable idiot and someone who, when they need to be nasty, can, like, truly be nasty.
Yeah.
So he plays this, like, himbo, like, high school jock asshole to her in the beginning, but then when she starts getting her lick back and fucking his shit up... he really starts to, like, fall apart, and it's really great. But the show is really, really good. I binged it. got my mom into it. She binged it, but they canceled it. So
God, I hate when they do that.
But that's because the budget was crazy. They were filming in a really crazy location. The costumes were everything, like the makeup. I'm gonna guess like constructing a bunch of stuff was hard.
Dude, that's gotta be so expensive.
Period.
Pieces?
Yeah, no, no, thank you.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm okay with ever wanting to do anything like that. But speaking of like period pieces, I'm gonna guess half, if not 2/3 of the budget for Nosferatu went to recreating the time period.
Oh, I bet.
Which love.
Yeah. And the rats.
The rats.
Yeah, that's actually
that's
really
my
loud.
fucking vibrator. Sorry guys, it's going off. This
That's like
crazy.
a comment that Tonio would make as we're like at brunch, like 10:30 a.m.
And not even, I would make that even if we were not doing the pod.
I know.
Oh, you know what I thought about?
Tell me.
Panda Express.
I love Panda Express.
Me too. It might be my favorite guilty fast food pleasure place.
I agree. Oh
I know how much sugar that orange chicken is putting into my body, but put it in me faster.
Hey, guess what? I don't care. Give me more.
I've also been recently getting half original orange chicken and half the Beyond orange chicken, and it's not bad. I kind of like it.
Wait, I haven't tried it.
It's really good. Like if you can get over the texture of like not a crunch, but more of like a crunchy exterior that just kind of like pulls away. Like if you've had Beyond like fried food before, you know what I'm talking about.
Got it.
But like it's good. Like I'm not mad at it because number one, it's not, I don't know, it's not chicken, I guess, or it's not like as, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just feels healthier, so I get it, but it's probably not.
I have been mad fucking with the honey walnut shrimp.
Dude, I got it one time, but like just the consistency of it freaks me the fuck out. That like weird feeling when you bite into it, I can't do it.
I don't know why it is so good. I love it.
They don't have the tails in them, do they?
Yeah, they do. You just, well, one, you can eat the tails, but it's fried, bro. It doesn't really matter.
Even in the small amounts of sushi that I eat, the like shrimp tempura ones, I like take scissors and like meat scissors, like poultry scissors, and I cut off the tails.
Yeah.
And even the little like remainder of that like crunchy feeling ruins the entire fucking thing for me. So sometimes I know it's wasteful and it's why I don't get sushi. Sometimes I don't even eat the last fucking piece that little tail is on.
No, see, I don't blame you.
I give it to someone else.
Sharing king.
I guess I know that my food like tisms and tics are like serious because I can't even eat beans.
You know, I don't like beans either, so I can't even say shit. Except the bean dip at Juan's Flamin' Fajitas in Las Vegas, Nevada. They are so good, bro. I would double down on those beans. Holy shit.
That's because Vegas has some of the best food in the world. Like literally, they have some of the best food in the world.
Really?
So,
no, I agree.
I watched a vlog earlier today about this girl. She's a Twitch streamer. Her name is Yvonne. She's great. I love her. But she does really good vlogs when she travels overseas with Offline TV, her streaming group and her streaming house. And every year, they always go to an Asian country, whether it's Japan or China or Korea. They always choose like an Asian country to go to for a vacation. Recently, they went to China, and that's how I found out that China has its own Venetian. And it is, I'm not fucking joking, a 1-to-1. Like, they were walking around on the inside of it, and I was like, holy shit, that's the Venetian. And then like they even had the fucking like brick street, with the sky and everything. I was gagged. And then Yvonne was like telling them like, this is crazy, like this just looks like just the one in Vegas. And the employees at the Venetian in China were like, yeah, we're better than the one in Las Vegas. And I said,
hell yeah,
you better work. Like like of course you're gonna be better than us. Like duh.
Thank you.
Yeah. But no, I just thought that was really crazy. Speaking of Vegas,
No, that's so wild.
I might have to show you because you're gonna be like, "Holy shit!"
That's crazy. I love the Venetian. Shout out the Venetian.
Yeah, and I also said earlier, I was talking to some coworkers today. Give me 30 milligrams of an edible and drop me in any busy street in Japan or Korea or China, and I'm gonna have a good time because if there's one thing about me, I love a little vending booth. I love a little cart. I love a little hole in the wall for a snack.
I gotta put you on these videos my brother showed me. It's like this dude in, I don't know, we're somewhere in Asia. I think Japan.
Does he go to 7-Elevens?
No, he takes a little camera and he walks around the train stations and the buses and just the public transit all around.
And
he puts it to lo-fi hip-hop.
Yeah, talk about a good, like, put me to bed.
No, really, it's fucking awesome. But also, the 7-Elevens in Japan, I want to go
so bad.
The little, cream sandwiches, bro, those look banging.
I know where we can go get some.
Oh.
Tanaka.
What?
Have we been there yet?
No.
We haven't been to Tanaka? Oh my god! Okay, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to put you on. Tanaka is a restaurant in Portland. I think it's in, I don't know what district or neighborhood you would call it, but it's really close to the Regal Fox Tower.
Okay.
It's close to Fox Tower in downtown Portland. It is a Japanese sandwich place.
Hell yeah.
Fuck. I should, if Chris and Lucy ever come back, I know they would love it. But they do Japanese sandwiches. They have one of the best chicken sandwiches, I'm not joking, I've ever had in my life. It's obviously it's a chicken katsu sandwich.
Oh yeah.
But it is so good, and the fries that they give, or the tater tots, I think they're fries that they give with it, are those fries that are like double tossed or something, so they have like the golden flakes on the outside. But the other gag is they are also their own bakery. So the location in downtown Portland, is big enough in the back to have and support a whole bakery. So they do like those thick loaves of like thickly sliced like milk bread. And they serve those sandwiches on that milk bread with like the strawberries and the cream, or like the grapes and the cream. Yeah, girly,
yeah.
We'll go.
We gotta go.
We'll go. Well, like on Tuesday or Wednesday morning when I bet they're not super busy, and we could probably get some. I'll check on DoorDash, or I'll check on DoorDash before we go to see if they're available, and I'll just hit you up and be like, girl, meet me downstairs at 10, and then we'll go and get them.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That sounds like so much fun.
They also do other bakery items which are super fucking good.
Hell yeah.
Shout out Tanaka. They're also like originally a brand from Japan, and they only have a few stores, I think, in the United States, and Portland is host to one of them.
Hell yeah. We gotta go.
No, we have.
I'm so excited.
So good.
There's so many spots in Portland that I want to try. I'm trying to I'm trying to go to all the top 5 coffee shops like in a mile radius of my house. And this morning Ethan and I went to I think it's called More or Less Coffee.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I got a fucking tiramisu coffee. It was hot, and they just like dollop the cream of the tiramisu into black coffee, and it melted down into it. So good. 10 out of 10.
Tiramisu? Is that how you're supposed to be saying it?
Tiramisu?
I thought it was just
tiramisu.
Tiramisu. Who's saying it correctly? Hey, chat. Who's saying it right?
Hey, actually, I'm a little embarrassed.
Is it? No, but you might be. I've heard. Because I feel like. Ooh, sorry. Tiramisu.
How do you spell it?
I know it's one of Miguel's favorite desserts, so that's why I've heard him.
Miguel.
Shout out Miguel. I've heard him say it a couple times. Shout out Kyle.
Shout out Kyle.
I wanted to ask you, what's your favorite dessert?
Oh, that's hard.
Like not at a restaurant, like not at any specific thing, but like, you know, you take like those fun little personality things, or like you take the They're like, what's your favorite dessert? And you write it down every time. And it can be general. Like, you can just say apple pie. You don't have to be like, my grandma's apple pie. You could just say whatever.
That's kind of crazy that you said apple pie, because I was literally going to say apple pie. I know! I was like, wait, what? I love a good slice of apple pie.
Me too. It's the only pie I'll eat.
What about you?
It's called strawberry chantilly cake. It's something that I think I've only seen done right once, and I'm not sure if that's even the right way to say it or if it's even the right thing. But there was this cake, and I'm pretty sure now that I think about it, it had to have just been like strawberry jello mix with like Cool Whip between some slices of like yellow cake with strawberries in it. But there was this strawberry cake I had when I was a kid. Holy shit. And it wasn't just like a strawberry shortcake. No. It was like a yellow cake with like Cool Whip in between each layer with like little chunks of strawberry, and the icing on the outside of the cake was pink. And so that's why I think that maybe it was like a Cool Whip like jello, strawberry jello situation. And not just strawberry icing, but it could have just been strawberry icing. But that cake sticks in my brain a lot. My mom tried to order one for me in Vegas one year for my birthday, and I remember eating it. And I just remember being like, this is good. This is really good. But I hated to be like, I don't think that was it. And the bakery that made it, they made what they thought it was, and it was so good. I'm not even like, shout out that bakery or whatever, but like, but that's not my favorite dessert. That's just the dessert that I know had a story attached to it.
Love.
The like boring answer. I don't know. I feel like there's categories to these questions.
No,
though, right?
Absolutely. Look, I wouldn't go out of my way to have a piece of apple pie unless I'm getting it from like a special bakery or something. If I'm going to like fucking Target and I'm like, I want a dessert, I'm probably gonna pick up like some cookies or something. Yeah,
I was just about to say, for some reason the other dessert that jumped in my brain when I was talking about it, oatmeal cream pies. Ooh.
Good question.
I wonder if it cut off to both of our reactions to oatmeal cream pie. I wonder if the last thing it got before we stopped recording was
and the battery's dying out soon.
Oh my god.
I mean, we've been going for an hour.
Yeah. I guess closing thoughts. Or should we maybe try to rattle off some more desserts for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 9 minutes? Oatmeal cream pie.
Delicious. Are you talking about like the Little Debbie ones?
Yeah, bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bitch. Hello. Also, but I love an oatmeal cookie. They have to be soft. Soft cookies. Shout out Deontay. Soft cookies. There was one time my brother came upstairs when my mom was baking cookies, and my brother was like, "Are those cookies soft?" And it was just like a speech, like it was just like a fuck up. We need to get you fidget toys. I need fidget toys because I'm sitting here like my fucking hoodie sleeve is drenched in sweat. Anyway,
I've been just fucking with a pencil.
Flipping it. Yeah. It was just like a slip of the tongue or whatever. And my dad's friend Deontay was over. One of my favorite people. Shout out Deontay. Again, but he was like, "Yo, you want some soft cookies, my G?" And it was just ever since then. Every time we talk about cookies, he's like, "They gotta be soft." But no, soft oatmeal cookies.
Delicious.
Important.
So good.
Oatmeal raisin cookies too. People hate on them. I love a soft oatmeal raisin. Again,
delicious.
Soft is a very important word when I think describe. I hate a hard cookie.
They're not my favorite.
If I can thunk your cookie on the table and it doesn't fall into like Play-Doh, get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't want a well-baked cookie. I don't think anybody does.
They're not my favorite. I was messing with a brown butter chocolate chip cookie recipe for a while, but the problem was is it tasted delicious fresh out of the oven, but it got so hard. I mean, maybe I just wasn't fucking storing it properly, but it got so hard over 48 hours, I was like, my fucking teeth are gonna fall out.
So then
maybe that's a me issue, though.
No, but that begs the question, how do you bake cookies so that after a couple hours they don't get, like, not stale, because that's not the right word, but they don't get, like, they don't harden? Because, like, There are some, like, those prepackaged cookies. It's probably a bunch of fucking chemicals. But there are those prepackaged cookies that are always soft.
Yes.
Like, the Chips Ahoy, like, chewy cookies. So, how... And even I know some personal bakers. When they send you home with a cookie, you can leave it sitting in the fridge for a long time. You still bite into it. It's like cake. So, how do... Leave it in the comments. How do you do that? How do you do that?
I don't. I love to bake. I just pick the first recipe I see off of Google and I go with that one. So I can't.
I used to go with Bon Appetit recipes. Shout out Claire. Shout out Claire Saffitz.
Her
little kitchen now though is so cute.
I miss that show. I miss that gang.
I miss that vibe.
Yes, literally. Ugh. That was like peak college. We would watch Bon Appetit and take a gummy.
Yeah, that was not like. I think it was still like justifiable. I still think it was reasonable to be like, hey, if you're the CEO of a company,
yeah,
you can't have that kind of trepid past and like play off like it never happened, and especially not to even like apologize for his crazy work. And we can say that now because y'all are 6 feet under.
Yep.
So sorry.
Most of
them. And the other people went off to do their own things and they were successful. Like they still are. So that goes to show that like it really was about the people and not really the company or the name attached to it. Speaking of desserts though, when it comes to candy, I'm talking, we'll split it in 2 categories of chocolate and then like fruity.
Can I tell a story about candy?
Yes.
So when I lived in Aurora, Illinois, I went to downtown Naperville and I took Antonio with me and we found a candy shop. And we go into this candy shop and he's like, I'm going to get some candy. And I'm like, great, perfect place to do that at. And so I'm like watching him decide what to pick out.
Oh no, I think I know what you're about to say. Just say it. Just get it over with.
This bitch picks out like the chocolate covered orange gummies. The chocolate covered Swedish fish. I was appalled.
Nope.
I was, dare I say, disgusted in these actions. I think that that's crazy to mix a gummy with chocolate. I digress.
It only took 3 episodes to start calling each other out for weird shit. Alright, game on, bitch. That's so crazy. That's so crazy that you're calling me out right now. I will never stand down from... Because I like chocolate-covered gummy bears. I like chocolate-covered Swedish fish. Why? Texturally,
I just want to know why.
Texturally, you're right. It's a nightmare. But...
And the flavors don't go together.
Do you like chocolate-covered strawberries? Do you like chocolate-covered pineapple?
Different.
No.
Different.
So it's not.
I wouldn't eat a chocolate-covered orange. I wouldn't eat a chocolate-covered orange.
You've never had those, like, British, like, oranges that are covered in chocolate? Those orange slices?
I mean, I have, but I don't think they're good.
Gag.
No, is this going to be the end of the pod?
No. But I just think for me, it's more so that, like, for me, it's in that same line of, like, sweet things covered by chocolate or accompanied by chocolate. I like in Michigan, their Traverse City is like known as the Cherry City or whatever. There there's a place that Traverse City. It's like the brand is Traverse City something, but they make chocolate covered cherries, and those are really good. And they come in a bag, and bitch, you put. Like, they come in a bag this big that, like, folds over the top or whatever. I'm throwing them back. But, like, those are good because they cover the chocolate on the outside with, like, this thin layer of, like, red wax that gives it this, like, really cool texture feeling. The same thing with the chocolate-covered Swedish fish. When I put them in my mouth, the first thing I do is I bend them because the chocolate cracks and falls off of it entirely. So I'm just... letting chocolate melt in my mouth, and then, oh my god, I get a Swedish fish! And, like, to me, the flavors aren't that bad together, because it's rich and it's super tangy and super sweet, and I like that.
Okay.
But again, for you, chocolate.
That's
and fruity.
Crazy.
If you're going down the candy aisle and you had to pick a chocolate and pick a fruity candy, what are you picking? Okay. I know what your fruity candy is, and we're both going to say it. Oh, yeah.
I don't think you do.
I think you're forgetting about it right now.
I know what you think I should say, but I disagree.
Really? With the greatest candy invention of the 21st century made by Mr. Wonka himself?
I would go...
For themselves?
I would go with the Watermelon Sour Patch Kids.
Clout chaser.
I love those. Those are...
Because self-proclaimed baddies like the... Okay.
I mean, I am one.
I'm not disagreeing, but it's like... That's such a basic bitch fucking answer. That's an audio. I'm not coming at Maddie. That's a TikTok audio. No, but... I hear you out. I just don't... It doesn't taste watermelon-y enough for me.
Fair. That's fair.
But chocolate.
Say what you were going to say, because we all know.
Oh, Nerd Gummy Clusters.
Pink or blue?
Blue.
Wow.
The pink ones are more sour, though.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree. I like the blue better, too.
Yeah. But if you're picking a chocolate... Hershey's,
That's
Reese's,
tough.
like what are we picking?
I usually switch it up every time. But if I had to go with something, I think I would go with the Reese's, a Reese's cup.
Love.
Or maybe a Butterfinger.
I like Butterfingers. People complain about the thing, but I kind of like the texture. I like when it gets stuck in your teeth. I don't know why.
When you feel like you can't pull your teeth apart, I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. And then you always do.
Yeah. You wanna know what slept on? A Take 5.
I agree with that.
Love a Take 5. By the way, any chocolate that you buy at the convenience store or the grocery store immediately goes in the freezer.
Yes, 100% agree with that.
That's the only way to do that.
My brother had a Crunch bar in the freezer the other day, and I was
oh my god, remember we talked about that we thought those were extinct, but that's good to hear that they're still around!
The person buying it is my brother.
Good. I'm glad he's keeping them in business.
No, for real.
Well, it's Nestle, so they're always going to be in business.
Exactly. But I was like, wait, that in the freezer sounds so good.
It is. I also love a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, but who doesn't?
Yeah, what would you go with?
I think I would go with a Take 5. I think Take 5, like, because for me, I'm a person that I love the, like, of, like, the berry and of the cheese from, like, Ratatouille. Like, I'm not joking, on my lunch breaks at work, I take an apple to work, and I take a Colby Jack cheese slice stick to work, and I will take a bite of my apple, and I'll take a bite of the cheese at the same time and eat it together because I think it tastes good.
Absolutely.
And I like, and kind of like with the chocolate-covered gummy bears, I like a complex flavor profile of, like, going from one thing and turning into something else. So, like, the salty chocolate peanut butter caramel or the salty chocolate peanut butter, yeah, actually. Thank you so much. Weirdly enough, sometimes I crave a payday.
What's a payday again? Is it the peanut butter? The peanut one?
I think it's peanut butter covered in peanuts.
Yeah.
It's good.
I fuck with peanuts.
Same.
Yeah.
I fuck with peanuts. I think they're good. And like I said, I'll do a Reese's peanut butter cup, like 5 king size. Yep. Throw it in the freezer.
Absolutely. I do like a Snickers. I think it's basic as fuck, but every once in a while, I get a little Snickers kick.
Going back to fruity, the only pink and red unwrapped Starbursts. Oh, yeah, dude.
That was a brilliant move on their part.
Those, like, gallon bags you can get. Yo! I also love those, again, the sweet to, like, sour candy route. Those caramel apple suckers.
Yeah.
Love. Especially in the winter with a hot cup of cider and a donut.
Love.
Shut the fuck up. Yes, bitch. I'm a Midwestern baby through and through. You can't take it out of me, though.
Goofy.
Do you have any?
The dogs are out.
I think those are just white bitches being loud. They're playing Mario Party.
Real.
I guess closing thoughts, like any more candies, like weird ones that you can think of that you like?
No.
And do you know anybody that has weird candy likes?
Yes, my mom has the same candy likes as Timothy Chalamet. They're both Milk Duds and Raisinets.
I love a raisinette. I'm not gonna lie. Milk Duds, however, no.
Not my favorite. Not my favorite.
I know we just talked about the love of like eating a Butterfinger and getting stuck, but like Milk Duds, unfortunately,
that's a different kind of stuck. It's like actually like, oh my god, you're in the sand pit kind of stuck.
Exactly.
It's too chewy.
Too chewy.
And then almost every single time it tastes like plastic, the chocolate.
It tastes like the box.
Yes, literally.
My brother likes those wax bottles that have the juice inside of them. And then he chews on the wax like
I was gonna
gum.
ask, does he like... I feel like that's half the fun of it, though. Just chomping on a little plastic.
Yeah.
What's a little more microplastics?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think you already called it my weird candy thing. I don't think there are any other candies that... My dad loves turtles.
Turtles?
Like, they're a type of candy. Bye.
Okay, camera said bye.
Yeah, funny pictures up again. Probably of my cat or something. No, my dad likes turtles.
What the fuck is a turtle?
It's like a little round little thing, and then it has like a nut on top, and it's all covered in chocolate.
I want a turtle.
Yeah, wait. Final closing thoughts. We're gonna read out what a turtle is. I don't know. Chocolate?
I realized I was scribbling on that, and I was like, I probably shouldn't do that.
They're called turtles. Demettes?
I feel like
They look like this. They literally look like this. They look like that.
they're literally called oh.
My dad gets them for my grandma every year for Christmas. It's either that or pistachios.
I love that. Pistachios are delicious.
Creamy caramel and crunchy pecans. It's a bunch of pecans held together by caramel covered in chocolate.
I want that. Sign me up.
Closing out thoughts. Thanks for listening to the pod, episode 3.
Damn, an hour and 15 if you're here.
They're
Thank you.
They're just getting longer.
Yeah.
Well, we are gonna cut some stuff out. Yeah. But yeah. We're gonna go watch Drag Race now.
Bye.
Bye.